Hello everyone, I'm Elizabeth Shaw and this channel is about recovery from narcissistic abuse and all about the narcissistic personality disorder to give you more understanding of what you've been through, how to recover and who you're dealing with. This video is what can happen when you go no contact with a narcissistic person. When you've finally broken free from a narcissist and the trance that they put you under, start doing all the right things. No contact if you can, limited contact and grey rock if you cannot, rising above and not reacting and only responding if you need to do so. Staying out of arguments, observing, not absorbing, working on you and turning inward and healing your wounds, working towards new dreams and new goals. Trying your best to move on with your life without toxic people bringing you down. When you finally break free and it seems like all hell suddenly breaks loose and the narcissist seems to just be coming at you with game after game, it can be draining and it can be hard as they keep dragging you back into the past while you just either are working that out or have worked all that out. And you just want to leave it in the past and move on. Unwittingly, you, during that relationship, let the narcissist learn all they needed to know about you. They know all your weaknesses, all your insecurities, and they are now going to use each and every one against you to bring you down. They know your emotional triggers, your pain and your fears, and they will use them all against you. When a narcissist wants you back or wants revenge, they will throw all they can at you. You've gone into your new life wiser and stronger and you no longer want them. You know you need to heal from things like trauma bonding, CPTSD, anxiety, and you're working so hard to do so, or you've managed to do so, and then come the messages from them. Even when you've blocked them, they find a way. When they come at you, if they start nice, you might think back to, if only I'd have done this, or if only I'd have done that, or perhaps they're not that bad. You might still be in the stage of weaning yourself off them, like the come down from a highly addictive drug. The more games they throw, the more your mind gets stuck in the past with them. Do they miss me? To what are they going to do next? If you've broken up before and tried to stay free, you might notice they have a pattern of tantrums that they go around. The more you go no contact and don't respond, the more some narcissistic people will escalate. Once they have tried them all, they might circle back round to the start. Now, some are incredibly lazy and will leave you alone for the most part. Some will have a go and then leave you alone. Some will have plenty of other sources and just go all out to hurt you. It all depends on the narcissist that you were originally tangled up with. A narcissist feeds off excitement and control. So here's a few ways they get at you once you have gone no contact. Opening a conversation up, they might send you a message about a memory of a great time that you had together to bring up the good. To pull on your heartstrings with an I miss you, we were good together and the rest. You do your best to not respond and they will up it. The fact they have never felt this way about anyone before. And now part of you might be pleased that the shoe is finally on the other foot. Yet it also confuses you and makes you start to believe perhaps they weren't that bad. Perhaps they do actually care. Yet you still hopefully do not respond. They might keep going and at some point you could end up responding with a simple we are over or please leave me alone. Or you may end up giving an explanation as to why you need to leave it in the past because you're feeling bad within yourself for not responding. Then the narcissist has exactly what they wanted to. They have contact. You might then get more pity plays of I cannot live without you. You said you'd always love me. I need and want us back together. And this can potentially open your heart more, and you might respond more in depth, giving away the fact that you did once love them, but that they hurt you so much. The narcissist will absolutely love this. Now they will try to open up a full conversation with you, and you've been sucked straight back into the vortex of doom and gloom. Now, if you then go back into no contact, that's when the insults will come. They might go into pity plays. They might just go straight out and hit you with insults. If memory doesn't work, they might go for the pity play. Some will even fake illnesses within themselves or children or family members. They might try jealousy. They will try until they find something that gets your attention. Write down the abuse and the bad things that happen to you within the relationship. Every time you start to doubt yourself and think of responding, look at it and remember just how manipulative they are. If you break no contact or start to respond, just stop responding and start no contact again. Don't focus on the slip-ups. Focus on the fact that you will succeed this time. We are human. We make mistakes. Plenty of people slip up. What we do get there in the end. Just keep going, keep trying, and keep working on you. Another thing they might do is announce to everybody that they ended the relationship, whether they did or did not. You will have most likely split up with them a few times in the past, whether they finished it or you finished it. This last time could have quite possibly been your choice to end it. You might notice that the narcissist is now telling people it was them to leave you and how crazy you are, smearing your name, changing their Facebook statuses, getting their enablers and flying monkeys to tell you things that they are saying. And it can hurt because it is more lies, and your abandonment issues might kick in and wanting to tell people the reality of what's going off. You need to stop and refocus. Don't go trying to make your point. You know your worth. You know your truth. We don't need to be tit for tat on who finished with who. Yes, it knocks out that sense of pride and ego that you finally made it out. But all you need to focus on is the main fact that you are out. What other people think or believe is not for you. Know your own truth and focus on the fact that you are now free. Don't get drawn into the battle of who ended it with who. Focus on the fact that you are out. The emergency. They might come to you with an emergency, again, pulling on your empathy and wanting you to help them, knowing that you are a kind person that loves and cares and will most likely want to reach out and help them. They might claim to have an illness, knowing you'll want to help and feel bad for not doing so. Remember first, this is most possibly a complete lie. Second, if it is true, you cannot help them. You've tried too many times before and it will only ever hurt you. They'll get help if they need it. Ask yourself, how many times has that person truly helped me with good intentions? Work on you and leave them to it. Do not get drawn into their games. When a narcissist promises change, they will just change long enough to suck you back in. And then once you are back in, they will punish you for making them seek therapy in their own minds. It will be all your fault. They do not change. Only their lies and their manipulation or their partner change, never themselves. Remember, it did not start with you and it will not end with you. The only way they can end that in a torment and the cycles of abuse that they go round and round is if they were to actually accept responsibility, accept accountability, and look within themselves. Abuse by proxy, damaging your property, smearing your name, having flying monkeys or enablers come at you, dragging you through court, stalking you, changing passwords on your social media, calling the police on you, hurting those you love, threats, financial abuse. This can also be through the courts, or stealing from you, hurting you and trying to destroy you any way they can. They want to punish you for walking free, Also, as they project and believe in their reality, what they did to you, you did to them, they want revenge. If you've had to take the children no contact because they are not safe to be around the narcissist will blame you to all others. If you'll not let them pick up the children when it suits them, and then they ignore the children when it suits them, they will blame you as to why they don't have them. They are never accountable or responsible. To the narcissist, the faults within themselves and their own lives are always someone else's fault. They want your attention and a lot enjoy using the court systems, as they can be the star of the show and remind themselves that they still exist to you, especially if you've got no contact with them. The court system isn't about fairness. They just want to run amok and win at all costs. If it is the court and the clown wants to drag you to the circus, prepare, learn and become the ringmaster. Focus on the outcome you need and get as much support and backing as you can. Get rest and take care of yourself. Pull away when you get drawn in. Heal any wounds. Look at your true reality and your true beliefs. Look for opportunities. For example, if it's divorce, focus on what's rightfully yours and stand firm. If it's children and you had the belief that children should always see the other parent, focus on the fact that that's only the case if the other parent is safe for the children to be around. Look for the positives on how well the children are doing without them, how the children's anxiety and attachment is healing. Look at it as the last bit of the puzzle and finally getting that closure. They are not looking for compromise. They may try and fool you that they are, but they are not looking for compromise. They are looking to win. Write the outcome that you want and go all out to get it. If they are smearing your name, leave them to it. Focus on you. Don't get drawn into the battle of who's telling the truth. Because it will just last longer. Once you stop getting drawn into the arguments, it will end far quicker. Write down any triggers and heal them within yourself so that what's happening on the outside doesn't affect you on the inside. The new relationship, most will move on fast with a new person. They may have even been with them before your relationship ended. Often they will make sure you know. Someone will let you know. Someone close will let you know. They will find a way to let you know. Some will even move in with someone close to where you live. It might be a relative of yours or a friend of yours. If they believe they are losing control over you, they'll have a backup plan, or 3, waiting. They will go all out to flaunt this to you to try and cause you pain and trauma. They will be looking like the happiest, most loved up couple you've ever met, to leave you questioning what was wrong with me, where's my dream gone, what's so special about them. They might move the new partner into your home. They might start playing happy families with your children. What can you do? Don't try to get into a new relationship fast because it will only hurt you more. Don't try to warn the new person. They are being sold the dream. They'll not listen to you. Just remember what it was like for you when you first met them. That new person is going around that same cycle that you did. Be grateful that you are free now. If they come to you if the new person comes to you when it becomes their nightmare, you can help them out then. Other than that, stay out of it. You need to heal you and focus on yourself so that, again, the outside situations no longer affect you on the inside. Cry it out, scream it out. Know the narcissist is only doing to them what they once did to you, and work on loving who you are. Leaving belongings behind or keeping yours as a way of staying in touch with you, not being willing to collect them, not being willing to give yours back. They have to make everything so hard. If they've got your belongings, try to get someone else to get them for you. If if it's not happening, if it's all possible, just try and let those belongings go and move on. If it's theirs that they've left with you, return them, remove them from your home and give them back. Leave them at their home and take a photo and send it to them, or deliver it to a friend or a family member of theirs. They might start trying to make contact about random things, asking about unimportant random stuff. Again, ignore, and ignore some more. They might come at you with the "I will change." They might promise change, offer long, deep conversations and offer to see counsellors, work on their issues, get themselves help and want your support, use pity plays and guilt trips. They are pulling you in on your empathy towards other people. It can be hard to resist as it goes against your nature. Don't fall for their manipulation and lies. You need to heal you. Remember how many other times they've promised to change to only cause you more pain. Focus on that fact that you cannot help them. You've tried too many times before and you're the one that ends up getting hurt. It's none of your business. Leave them to it and focus on helping yourself. It did not start with you and it will not end with you. You cannot heal their wounds. They need to work on themselves. They might actually get with your new partner's ex to play games, especially if you all have children. Try to avoid them finding out about your new life in the first place. If they do this, then there will be a storm that you have to ride out until the narcissist gets fed up of the new person and leaves them for someone else. Get a good support network in place. People who understand what you've been through. Get reality checks from good people if you're struggling to give yourself the reality checks. If you can, ignore all attempts for communication. If the children still see them, limited contact, and you need to be extremely boring. Unfollow on social media. They will post things to trigger you. And when you do think it's normal human behaviour to want to have a look, acknowledge the fact that you want to have a look and then tell yourself that you're not going to and don't. Be careful about mutual friends. It's hard, but you might need to remove some from your life. Stick with no contact. Stick to observe, don't absorb. If you cannot go no contact, retreat, rethink, and only respond if you need to do so. Keep working on who you are and keep creating new routines and new dreams. Now, there is those on the lower end of the spectrum that you might be able to manage, but it takes work. If you've got children with them, you might be able to manage, but it takes work because you will have to lose your pride. You will have to lose your ego over the situation, which is hard after everything they've put you through. Then you kind of have to make them think that something was their idea when it comes to childcare arrangements, because when they think it's their idea, they will roll with it. And then you've got to focus on the end game. You've got to focus on the long-term plan. You've got to focus on what you are trying to achieve by not particularly giving in, but by letting them have what they want and letting them think it's their idea and they're in control, so you and your children can get what you want. This doesn't work with all narcissistic people. It'll work with some, but they might just keep coming at you and up in your games. There was one occasion with myself when I'd healed and I was in a good place and it was escalating a bit, and I thought, right, if I actually react on purpose, that might stop that game in its tracks rather than it keep escalating. With the one I was dealing with, that did not work at all. I tried it, it didn't work. There's nothing wrong with trying new things, especially if you've got children with them, but you have to know when it's time to just leave them to it, and if they drag you through the court systems, deal with that as and when it comes. Keep records of everything, messages, texts, keep everything, keep all evidence, because you never know when you might need it in the future against these people. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.